Hello, everyone. You are listening to The Redshift, your connection to your piece of the sky. I'm your host, Emma Miller. Hello, my friends. Hi, Medallion. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Vexen. Hi, Trinity. Hi, Manja. Hi, Petro. CHRNB, how's it going? Hi, Karen. Hello. Wow. Well, you all have kind of immediately leaned into my ISA announcement this week. This is very, very exciting. But this week, there were some promotions given out, which means that we have a brand new group of ISA leads, which is a huge commendation. And I am very proud to see our shifters represented amongst the promotions. In fact, the vast majority of the promotions are our shifters. Very, very exciting stuff. So if you did receive a promotion, and I do see some purple names in here, make sure you say hey in chat so we can celebrate you. I'm very proud of you all for your promotions this week, and I just want to call that out. Very, very proud. Hello, friends. Hi, Tempker. Hi, Brick Bond. How's it going? I'm not purple, just missed it. That's okay. Same with you, Rinjam. No worries. Purple or no, you are all shifters to me, and that's really what matters. But I am proud to see our shifters represented with the new ISA lead role. It's a lot of responsibilities, so let's make sure that we take it nice and seriously. Hi, Snip. Congratulations as well. Congratulations. Great to see you all. So, are you all excited about what we have in store for you this week? I know I'm very excited for this week. And the reason why I'm so excited this week is because a little while back, I reached out to the Mission 4 ship to see if any of them could take time to send us a note. Obviously, it's quite busy on the Mission 4 ship, as you can imagine, as they're preparing to land. So wasn't entirely sure if I was going to get a note back, but we did get one back. And so this week I get to share with you all some of the first information from an astronaut from Mission 4, which is pretty cool. So I'm super, super excited to share that with you all. And more exciting in a way is that the letter that we got back, the little note that we got, is from Gareth Murphy. Now, I don't want to share too much of his business, but you might remember Gareth coming up in conversation over quite a few of our Redshift episodes. I don't know. Do any of you remember anything about Gareth? If you don't, I don't want to share, again, too much of his business, but I will remind you a little bit about what we have heard about Gareth previously. So Ida and Gareth, so Ida, who's in Mission 3, one of our engineers, the one that we saved, or helped to save, were a couple before Ida left on Mission 3. Now, Gareth was supposed to be on Mission 4, but then he wasn't. But then he was. It was a little bit dramatic, and it had something to do with their relationship. I don't want to go too much into it for fear of upsetting anyone at ISA Mission Control or on the planet. Now, Ida found out something while he's been in flight towards Mars that upset her quite a lot. If you remember way back to the beginning of our show, Ida had broken that piece of Martian glass that they had worked on and made together. And it turned out that the reason that she broke it was because of something that had happened after she had spoken to the Mission 4 ship. So I don't really know what that was all about. I'm not sure what exactly they spoke about. But I'm excited to see how their story unfolds now that Gareth is getting so close to the planet itself. With that being said, I'm going to share Gareth's letter. Now, as I have mentioned previously, every time I read an astronaut's letter, these are, of course, messages that get sent to me by the astronaut, so they are in their words. So I'll share with you what they've said. A delivery of new astronauts expected soon on Mars. Absolutely, yeah. The ship is on its way, very much on its way. With that, I will go ahead and let Gareth take it away. And I will say there are some visual aids for a portion of this story, so I'm very excited. So, I have been told that I am the first astronaut from Mission 4 to be asked to share some thoughts with this show. I was also told that my name has come up quite a few times in it already. It is a bit busy here, so I am not going to have a whinge about what you all may have heard. Maybe someday down the line. But let's get to Mars first, maybe. The name is Gareth Murphy. I am pleased to introduce myself to you as one of the very first civil engineers on the Red Planet. We've had engineers, sure, but now the planet needs me. Well, and my mates. Engineers build the technology. They figure out how to make things work, ensure that everything is getting power and doing the task expected of it. A civil engineer does the same, but on a larger scale. We design the towns, the cities, the Martian colonies. We make sure that everything is optimally placed for efficiency, safety, and comfort. Our job doesn't just start when we touch down on the ground, though. Before our launch window, plans were already being drawn up. It is a bit of a tricky business to go from 12 astronauts living peacefully on the Red Planet to a colony of 44. It is a trickier business to manage to upscale the colony while also keeping in mind that we are going to have to do the same thing when the next mission comes. And the next. And the next. So on. Think about it in the most simple terms, right? At the exact moment that I am writing this, there are currently a perfect amount of sleeping pods for the astronauts that are on the planet. When we touch down, we will need new places for people to lay their head at night. Unlike on Earth, you can't exactly pitch a tent and call it good. We are adding a new style of living space when we touch down on the planet as well. Small houses, we are calling them. These small houses can house 2 astronauts instead of 1 in a shared living space. With privacy and separate beds, of course. But the use of these small houses help us to better utilize the land that we have on the planet. And that is just the living spaces. With an influx of scientists, botanists, engineers, and even security folk, we need workspaces for each and every member of the colony. That is a whole lot of building and planning that we have to do. The other important thing to keep in mind is that almost all of these new buildings will be manufactured on-site using cutting-edge methods, including 3D printing. Unlike a standard build project where you show up at a work site with piles of 2x4s, we'll be showing up with nothing but our detailed blueprints and the hope that we can make it come together smoothly. I would love to share with you all some mock-ups that we have made from our blueprints that we've been working on. You'll see buildings that are not yet shown as hollow blue markers, while the buildings that are currently on the planet are shown in their true forms. Most of these blueprints are going to be focusing on the building of the small houses, but you'll also see some other images. And now I'm just going to, as Emma, interject so that I can insert these photos for you all. So here are the photos that I was sent from Gareth. So here are Gareth's photos. So as you can see, and again, this is me talking. This is not Gareth's letter. I just have to interject. Some of you might have access to this now on the map that you can see of the colony itself, but you can actually see the first image that I shared. It looks like there's a centralized hub location surrounded by some hallways and then some buildings that are in that blueprint blue kind of mesh look. Those are going to be where those small houses are, and you can kind of see them in a variety of different images as well. So this is what the construction is going to look like, which is pretty exciting. And I'm glad that I get to share this with you all. I have had the opportunity to see this, and I know some of you guys might have as well. So these don't just show the small houses. You can see on the second image, the small houses are kind of off to the right-hand side. And then we have additional inflatable sleeping pods that are being added, as well as additional areas for work, different greenhouses. It's going to be a very exciting time on the colony. Very, very exciting. So I hope you all get a chance to enjoy those images. As I said, and as Gareth said in his message, those are passed on to him. And I did ask for permission, I promise. I'm not just going to steal things from Gareth. He sent them directly to me. with that being said, we're going to hop right back into Gareth's closing little thoughts, just a final paragraph from Gareth. So back to him speaking. I know this isn't much of a story. Maybe someday, like I said, I'll give you all the other side to everything that you may have heard about me. But for now, my only focus is on getting to the planet, getting my feet in that red sand, and just maybe finding a race car driving turned engineer to give a squeeze. Reckon she'll have me? And that's the end of his letter, which I loved. It's a very short letter for sure, but obviously there is a lot going on Mission 4 at the moment. So I don't blame them for not having a ton of time to share too much about what's going on. But I'm just so excited for this part of the colony's story to kind of be taking that next step into the future. I'm so excited for Gareth to be landing. I feel like Gareth and Ida have been at the forefront of our minds for so long now. This is episode 18 since the ISA officially brought the redshift into the ISA, and not just me doing this, in my bedroom. It's been 18 episodes, and that's 18 weeks where Ida and Gareth have been kind of a question, something that we're wondering about. So very exciting that this is coming to a head. And also, it's really cool to see, I hope you guys enjoy those blueprints. It's really cool to see the colony truly taking shape and watching as the colony changes from being, 12 astronauts doing work to a place where people are living. It's 44 people. That's quite a lot of people. So I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope you all are as well. With that being said, we're going to take a very brief pause for our ISA sponsor message and our weather, and then we're going to hop into our game for the week. And I think it's going to be lots of fun. Y'all ready? All right, off for our sponsor message. The future for humanity is clear. The future is Mars. Multiplanetary, autonomous, redistributive, and, of course, sustainable. This is the Mars of the ISA. Founded in 2022 by Gabriel Rebane, Afet Yildiz, Davi Santos, Delinda Tutud, and Aaliyah Dunbar, the Interplanetary Space Alliance has one goal: to make humanity a free, fair, and multiplanetary species. Now you too can be a part of that mission. From its inception, the ISA has sought to find candidates from every corner of the globe, every discipline and background. Whether you be an aspiring astrophysicist or an artist, there is a place for you in the Interplanetary Space Alliance. Do you want to be a part of the future of humanity? Do you want to use your passions to make a mark on a new world? A red world? Join the Interplanetary Space Alliance today to begin your journey. All right, and now for the weather. The weather seems poised on the brink of change, but continues to hold fairly mild for the season, with highs of -10 degrees and lows of -95 degrees Celsius. The wind is hitting highs of about 15 meters per second, which is about 55 kilometers per hour, and dropping to a dead calm on occasion. Winds primarily toward the south, at about 170 degrees east of north, to be a little bit more exact. Atmospheric pressure is at 730 Pascal, and opacity is about 0.5. All right, my friends. So, this week, we are going to play a game, and it's going to be a great time. This week, our game is going to be a kind of fun simulation we were thinking about, or I was thinking about like what would be a fun thing for me to do some research into or to look into in terms of playing a game. And I was thinking we've done a lot of stuff with landing. We've done a lot of stuff like up in the air, if you will. But we haven't done a lot of stuff in the planet itself. So I was trying to think of what we have on the planet that would work well as an activity that we could do together. So I was thinking a couple of weeks back, we talked about our ice mining rig when we were talking about the CME events or the potential of CME events. Now, the way the ice mining rigs work, of course, is you have to mine down into the Martian land, the ground. And eventually you hope to hit ice, a large pocket of ice. And as you're mining, you then, the mining heats up the ice and then that becomes your fresh water. So I thought we could do an activity alongside that. So what this activity is going to be somewhat like is akin to a maze, if you will. So it's going to have a kind of maze-like feeling. I am going to share with you images, and you are going to be able to decide as a group which direction you want to move in. So you can basically choose to move when we share with you the specific place that you're going to use your emotes to decide, we'll give you the options that you can move. You, of course, can't move down if there's a rock in the way. But it's going to be a cool way for us to see how you can navigate the Martian surface. I will, at the very, very end, show you what the full board looked like. We do have quite a few rounds of these, so I'm excited to share them with you all. And I think that the best thing that we could do is just hop right into it. I will give you a very, very small amount of view when we are putting you into the maze, and we're going to go from there. Now, the way that you're going to get rewarded XP from Stephanie for this, and we're going to be calculating it at the end, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what the formula is. I have a number for the least amount of turns that I think you can take in each round for like what we are going to call in golf terms, I guess, par, and then what we would call over. If you get over the par, you will lose a little bit of XP. If you get under, you're going to get extra XP. And if you get on par, you're going to get the normal amount of XP. So I think we got this. Do you guys feel like you're ready? I feel like this will make even more sense as we get into this. So I kind of just want to let's get it started, you know? All right, let's begin. Now we're going to start off with a pretty simple decision each first round. So with that, we're going to start with our Martian rover here in round 1. So there we are in round 1. There's our Martian rover. So which direction should we move next? Now you're going to see the image that I just shared, the which direction should we move next. We'll be adding emotes to that direction. That will go, you really only have one option, so you're all going to have to vote for down. We're going to do this each time. It's very exciting. All right, down we go. All right, so it looks like we're all moving down. Let's go ahead and get to, did I use the image of the fuel plant? That's on me. That is completely on me. Bear with me. All right, so we have all gone down. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and put your marker on the map. And then we'll get into, the next round. Let me put your marker on the map. All right. Perfect. Okay, so markers on the map now. We are looking to decide which direction we want to move next. What is our next choice? Which direction do we go next? So you have 2 or 3 options. You can go back up if you want to. You can go down or you can go to the right. Now, I will say you did just come from above you. So if you choose to go up, you're probably going straight back to the surface. All right, it looks like down to the left is going to be our winner for this round. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. Perfect. Let me go ahead and get your marker on the map. All right. You're currently in this location. Where should we move next? Where should we move next? We can go up or we can go down, both ways to the right, up or down. It looks like you guys are thinking down to the right. Oh, everyone's saying down to the right. All right. Let's see. What should we do? What should we do next? I like the drills, guys. Those are fantastic. We are digging down. All right. So right now we look like we can move straight down or we can turn back up to the left. What are we thinking? Seems like straight down is winning pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and we're going to head straight down. All right. Let me get your marker set. Beautifully done. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go next? So this one's, you're going to have a lot more options here. So where do we want to move next? What are we thinking? We can go up to the left. We can go straight up. We can go up to the right. We can go down to the left. We can go down to the right. What are we thinking? Everyone seems to be saying down to the left. All right. Let's see. All right, it looks like we're going to go down to the left. All right, let me share with you your image. So we are at a bit of a dead end. So where do we want to go? I think we probably want to go back up to the right. Perfect. Dig. Well, so we don't want to put too much wear and tear on the drill. So we're going to try to avoid the hard rock. All right, perfect. So we're back to the right. Let's go back. Perfect. Now we're back in our central location. We're back in our central location. Where do we want to go next? What are we thinking? right down. Because this one, you do have the option to do, you can go right back down to the left, you can go right back up to the left, but I think it looks like right down is pretty quick. All right, it looks like right down is going to be our winner. So we're going to go ahead and go right down. Be rebel, down left. Go back where you came from. Try it again. Sometimes, you just have to try it more than once and then maybe it'll change the second time. All right, so we are here now. What do we think? Which move should we go? You need to be consistent. Yes, if you just try the same thing over and over, eventually it will work. What do we think? What do we think? All right, it looks like straight down is our option. So we're going to go ahead and go straight down. And that, my friends, leads you to our ice, which is so exciting. Congratulations. Let me get you the image so you can see what the whole map was. All right, there you go. Look at that. So that was actually on par. So you guys did a great job with that one. That was on par. Very, very well done. I know. That's completely my fault. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. I just used a wrong image. That's completely me. You did that really, really well, though. That was a very good job. So let's go ahead and we'll get to the next one. I think you guys are getting the hang of this. I'm pretty proud of you guys. You guys are doing great. Let me go ahead and get our next maps up. Perfect. You guys did great. We're starting to drink our ice. It's excellent. All right, let me get this up. All right. So let's get ourselves started here in just a second. Just have to reset up all of the brushes. All right. So let us begin where we typically begin, which is we are going to be starting with where would you like to go first? Where are you liking to go first? Up. I don't know that it will work if we go up, but we could try it if you want. Perfect. We're going to go down. That sounds fantastic. Okay. So first things first, we go down. Fantastic. Let's get our marker on there. I just have to give you guys the agency to decide I'm just not going to take the mining rig and we're just not going to go. All right. Here is our first split in the path. Which direction should we go in? To the bottom right, to the bottom left. What are we thinking? I think last time you all went left. This time you could stick with it or you could go to the right. What do we think? Bottom right, bottom left. Looks like bottom left. We're gonna branch out. Who needs consistency when we could do something different, you know? So we're gonna go ahead and head down to the right. Perfect. Let's go ahead and give you your marker. So now we are here. Where would we like to go next? We could go straight down. We could go back up to the left, or we could go up to the right. What are you thinking? All right. It looks like we're going up to the right. Okay. I like where your guys' heads are at. Let's see how this turns out for us. All right, let me get you your board. So now you have a tough decision. Do you stick with your guns and follow the pathway that is ahead of you that you have not traveled, which is down? Or do you turn back down to your left? What do we think? Drift down? Seems like down is a pretty rapid winner. I think it's probably not a bad idea. So let's go ahead. Let's trust our gut. Let's trust our gut. Let's trust our impulses. Let me get you your game board. All right. So the real question is here, do you trust your convictions? Because now we seem to have only one way to go, and that's down. Or we go back up the way that we came. Do we think we stay going down? You're trusting your gut? Will it pay off? Will we get stuck? Let's find out. Going to go ahead and mark it on the game board. How many moves left? Well, so I'm not gonna stop you. But you are doing a good job. You are certainly not over moves yet. All right. You are now all right. We are currently at a bit of a crossroads. We can go back up or we can go down to the left. What do we think? We're not running out of fuel, I promise. All right, it looks like we're going down to the left. We're going to trust our guts. We're going to keep on moving down in the direction that we have been traveling in. See if it pays off for us in a positive direction. I mean, we haven't run into a wall quite yet, but will we? We'll see. All right. You are now at another crossroads. Do you wish to travel up to the left, up to the right, or down? Up to the left, up to the right, or down? You guys have been going down the whole time thus far. All right. It looks like down is the winner. Let's see. Consistency is key. That's important. That's true. But will it pay off for you? The answer? What do we think? Do you think you guys did it? Do you think you guys made it? Do you feel like you did it, or do you think you got trapped in a wall? Water does slow down. That's true. And so do you. Congratulations. So you all actually got, so the lowest that you could get, which was this. So very, very well done. You did that perfectly, like perfectly. So very, very well done. I am incredibly proud of you for that one. Very, very good. Perfect. Okay. Congratulations. That is Maze 2 finished. Well, I guess not Maze, but I'm calling them Maze for the sake of having a name to call them. Our ice mining. Let me go ahead and save the results. Almost too easy. It's almost like maybe they'll get harder. Can you imagine? Imagine that happening. Or maybe it's all in your head. Who knows? Imagine. All right. So our next maze is, I mean, you already know the drill for our first one. Let me just get this set up for us. All right. So our first moments are, as they usually are, dictated by down. So we're gonna go probably with down would be my guess. Gravity does win in this situation. So I'm thinking we're gonna probably head straight down first. That'll be our first move. Perfect. Very well done. All right. We are heading down first. So now we are in a new location. A little branch. Where do we want to go first? Do we want to go down to the left? Do we want to go down to the right? The first round you went down to the left. The second round you went down to the right. What type of consistency do we have this time? The choice is yours. I did try to time my question with that GIF. It looks like down to the left is our victor for this round. So we're going to head down to the left. Now, this might be a lesson in consistency, because down to the left was a dead end, which means that we're going to have to go back up to the right to get us out of this little pickle. So we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to put you back at that spot, and you guys don't have to vote to go back in the same direction. So we'll go ahead and we'll put you back there. All right. So that's an additional move. Go ahead and pick what we want to do next. So do you want to go back down to the left where you know that there's a dead end? Or do you want to go down to the right? What do we think? Down to the left, down to the right. I feel you, Kenji. The anxiety, it's eating at me, the stress. I know you guys can do this. I know you can. Looks like down to the right is our direction. So let's go ahead and let's go down to the right. Things are about to get a little bit spicy for us down to the right. So let's see how we feel. A little bit spicy. Just a little bit spicy. What do we think that we should do from this spot? We have a couple of options. We can go back up to the left. We can go back up, or we can go up to the right. We can go down to the right and down to the left. What do we think? What do we think? Looks like down to the left seems to be pulling ahead. All right, let's go ahead. I think we're going to call it for down to the left. Let's go ahead and send you down to the left. All right, we are heading down to the left. We have a couple of options here now that we're down to the left. We can go either back up to the right, or we can head straight down. This one's a little bit more tricky, right? It's a little bit more tricky. What are we thinking? And go straight down. All right, looks like straight down is going to be our winner for this round. So we're going to go ahead straight down. And let's go ahead and see where we're at now. All right, so now we have an interesting conundrum here. An interesting conundrum. How will we work through this one? I think we can do this. So now we have 3 options. All 3 of them require us to go upwards. Do we go up to the left, up straight back where we came, or up to the right? What are we thinking? Looks like up to the right is winning early. I wish we had explosives. Can't risk exploding our rovers and our mining rigs, you know? All right. It looks like we're going up to the right. You're doing a great job. I know that you guys, I have faith in you. I know you guys can do this. All right. This one's a big one. It's a big maze. All right. Next. We have, so there's a couple of options here. So you can go back the way you came. So down to the left. You can go straight up if you want to, or you can go up to the right. Up to the right, back down to the left, up. Kenji is all in on the upright, which I think, you know what? I respect the conviction. Let's hope it pays off, Kenji. We'll remember that you suggested it. All right. I will show you your next image. You are now here. What do we think is the correct direction to go from this point? Let's see. Ooh, everyone's a little excited to go down. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to head straight down. Will it pay off? Will it pay off? Let's find out together. All right. You are now in this location. You have 2 options. You can go back up the way you came, or if you stick to your guns and you do it, you go straight down to your left. Keep following the trail. It looks like you guys are following the trail. So let's go ahead. We're going to head down to the left. Down to the left. Will our convictions pay off? Let's find out. It looks like you've come down a path that you really have but one option, 2 options really. You can either go back, start the journey backwards, or you can head straight down. You guys are so fast to go straight down. I too believe in you. And let's see. Did you manage to make it? The answer? You did! Congratulations! You all did a fantastic job with that. That was great. Well done. You stuck to your guns. That one was a long one. We had some twists and turns there, but boy, did we get there in the end. I am so proud of you all. That was on par. Well done. Very, very well done. I am very, very proud of you all. And now, are you all ready for our final mining expedition? It was better than the landing. I felt like we needed a game that was going to lift your spirits after the landing last week. You all did great. But I felt like you might need a game that would lift the spirits a little bit. A little bit less life and death. A little bit less life and death. All right. We are on to our very final maze for this experience. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to ask you guys, where do you think you're going to move first? Where do you think you're going to move first? I bet you have a guess. If you had to guess. Beautiful. All right, so we'll go ahead and we're just going to automatically start us one round down just so that I'm not going to send you guys the image of us going down from the surface. That would be, we've seen it now. All right. I am going to, however, start us off in our beginning point. Let's see how we do with this maze. We start off with the familiar or in a familiar moment. You might feel like this feels a little bit familiar at this point. So at this point, we are going down. Do we want to go back up to the surface? We don't want to play the fourth round. Do we want to go down to the left or down to the right? What are we thinking? That's really funny. All right, it looks like down to the right. Down to the right is our winner for this round. So let's go ahead. We're going to send us down to the right. Will that pay off for you? We'll find out. All right, so now you are here. What do we want to do? You can go back up to the left, you can go up to the right, or you can go straight down. What do we think? What do we think? Straight down, up to the right. Oh no, if you guys tie it, we're starting over. Don't do it. You know you don't want to do it. All right, it looks like down is the winner for this round. Though I do appreciate your job, the idea of mixing it up a little bit and doing something a little crazy. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go straight down. All right, we are now in a new cavern. Where will we go? I don't like tight spaces. What do we think? We can go down to the left, down to the right, or back up. We are at a crossroads. Down to the right, down to the left, or back up. It seemed like down to the right was winning initially, but it looks like down to the left has taken the lead. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to send you down to the left. All right. Well done. Let's see. Does it pay off? I keep saying well done without even seeing like where you are on the map, which is probably a dangerous move. Up. All right. You now have three options. You can either go back up to the left. You can go up or you can go down to the left. What do we think? What are we feeling? What do we think will be the best option for us right now? Down to the left. Down to the left looks like it's winning. Let's see. All right, you are going down to the left. You have two options. Do you trust your instincts and continue on the path that you have gone down? Do you go back up to the right? It looks like you're going straight down. All right. Let's see how you did by going straight down. Let's see. Well, You all are experts at this. I'm so proud of you all because you did that perfectly. Perfectly. You literally could not have done that more perfectly than you did at that time. I am so proud of all of you. So there was a moment, had you gone down to the left, you would have had to basically retrace your entire steps. So that was very, very well done. I am so proud of you all. You all have a very good instinct for this ice mining. I'm very, very proud. With that, you all are exactly. This is why you are our ISA leads. You've had the training, you have the know-how, you have the skill. It's very apparent to me that there's a reason why you have that role. Which leads me to one more time saying a huge congratulations to our amazing shifters who have gone on to become ISA leads. I am so proud of all of you. I'm also so excited that throughout the course of the Redshift, we've had a chance to share some XP in the Discord with you all as well. I am very proud to see all of the great things that you all do for our colony on Mars every day. And with that, I am going to let you know that next week, the Redshift will not be taking place because I am going to be away for a week because there's some exciting stuff looming on the horizon, just on its way. And I want to make sure that I am rearing and ready to go and ready to hit the ground running when that exciting stuff happens. So while the Redshift will not be taking place next week, I will miss you all, but we will be back. Our next episode will be on August 23rd. August 23rd. I hope you are all very excited. I can't wait to see you all then. That's 2 Tuesdays from now. So again, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. I cannot wait. I'm incredibly proud again of all of you. Congratulations to our new ISA leads, and I will see you all then. Thank you all for playing our game. See you soon. Bye, everybody.